In our everyday lives, we often make decisions in a hurry. Without even realizing it, we believe that whatever we think must be the only correct way. And the moment someone expresses a different viewpoint, we quickly assume they are mistaken. But the reality is that every situation in life can have many answers, many angles, and many possibilities. When we label others as wrong without truly listening to them, or when we overlook their thoughts, we unknowingly create the biggest barrier to our own growth. In today's story, we meet a young girl whose innocent response carries a powerful message. Through her simple yet meaningful answer, she teaches us the value of looking at life from various directions. She reminds us that just because someone thinks differently doesn't mean they're incorrect. So let's pay close attention to this story, because hidden within it is a life lesson that is priceless. There was once a charming little village surrounded by peace and beauty. In that village lived a cheerful and lively girl named Emily. Every morning she would put on her tiny backpack filled with books, pencils, and notebooks and happily walk to school. She loved her school, her teachers, and her friends. But there was one subject that created a big challenge for her: math. Whenever she opened her math book, confusion began to cloud her mind. Even simple additions under 10 made her count on her fingers. For a child her age, this wasn't unusual. But since other classmates were learning fast, her family sometimes became worried. One sunny morning, her teacher, Mr. Johnson, told the students to draw anything they liked. Drawing was the one thing every child adored. Emily's eyes sparkled with excitement. She carefully took out her crayons, sharpened pencils, and bright, colored markers that she had brought from home. Math might have troubled her, but drawing was her greatest strength. In fact, she was considered the most talented artist in her entire class. Once everyone finished, Mr. Johnson went around checking their creations. Some children drew animals, some drew trees, and others made colorful, imaginative scenes. Understanding the creativity of children, he appreciated each one. When he reached Emily's notebook, he paused with admiration and wrote, "Well done, Emily. Excellent work. Your art is truly beautiful." Emily's heart blossomed like a flower. She imagined her mother's proud smile when she would show the drawing to her at home. As soon as the bell rang, the children rushed out. Some ran to the playground, others to the canteen. Emily had packed her lunch, but didn't feel comfortable eating alone, so she joined her friends. While ordering snacks, her usual difficulty appeared again. She couldn't calculate the total properly. One of her friends helped her, but little by little, everyone realized that Emily was really weak in math. After lunch came the math period. Mr. Johnson began with a very easy addition. He picked up 3 apples from his desk and asked, "Children, imagine I hand you 1 apple, then another, and then 1 more. How many apples will you have altogether?" All the children gave the same answer immediately. When Emily's turn came, she used her fingers to count slowly. After some time, she smiled confidently and answered, "5, sir." Thinking she misunderstood the fruit example, Mr. Johnson rephrased the question. "All right, Emily, let's try this. Suppose I give you 1 strawberry, then another, and then 1 more. How many strawberries will you have?" Emily again counted carefully and answered 3. "Sir." This time her answer was correct. Mr. Johnson felt relieved, so he returned to the apple question. He placed the apples into her hand one at a time and said, "Now count again. I give you 1 apple, then another, and then 1 more. How many apples are there in total?" Without a moment of doubt, Emily replied, "4, sir." Mr. Johnson's patience started fading. He raised his tone slightly and said, "Emily, you counted the strawberries correctly, but why can't you count the apples? I only gave you 3. Why do you keep saying 4? Emily stepped back in fear, her voice soft like a whisper. "Because I already have 1 apple in my backpack, sir." Her answer stunned him. At that moment, he realized that the girl he thought was wrong had actually been right in her own way. The issue wasn't her ability to count, it was her perspective. My friends, the same thing happens in our lives. We often assume that only we understand things correctly. But a different opinion doesn't always mean an incorrect one. Yes, 5 plus 5 equals 10. That is completely true. But so does 6 plus 4, and so does 3 plus 7. Many paths can lead to the same destination. So before judging someone, listen to them with patience. Try to understand their point of view. Sometimes the answer that seems wrong to us may actually be right from another angle. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Your single comment motivates me to create even more meaningful stories for you. Thank you all for being here. We will meet again with a new story, a new lesson, and a new inspiration.